I start at 21. There shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. We're in that time right now. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him.
Now, if you don't go back to the root words and to that Hebrew, you won't know how to break down that scripture. You want to get that for me, Apostle Gabar? It says troublesome. Okay, well, they went off on that too.
Job 20 and 22.
Mm-hmm.
In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits.
So this scripture in Job 20 goes hand in hand with James 5. Go ahead. He is talking about the elites. Go ahead.
Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him.
Now click on the word wicked.
The word wicked there in the Hebrew is aimal. And it says this. It says laborer.
So now let me read the fourth verse again. James 5 verse 4 it said, behold, the hire of the laborers who have went down there and worked your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud. Because in slavery, in hardcore slavery, most of the work was field work. Down south, they were dealing with the cotton.
Yeah.
All right. And other things, not just cotton, but they were working in the field. Yeah. That's why you call them field hands. Then you had the house nigga and the field nigga. The house nigga lived, although he was in slavery, he lived a lot better life than the field nigga. And it was the house, the field nigga that always wanted to run away. Them house niggas didn't want to run away. They were doing pretty damn good. You know? They dressed good. They ate good. You know? It says, behold, the fourth verse again, James 5 and 4. It says, behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields. We worked in the fields, all right, which is of you kept back by fraud, because we didn't get no money. You just fed us. You put us in them slave quarters. You want to get a better understanding of that? Watch the movie 12 Years a Slave. I remember when I watched it the very day it came out. It came out on a Friday, and it was in one theater in Manhattan. And I said, look, I'm seeing it the day it comes out. I think I saw the first show. You know? And when I saw it, man, you know what was going through my mind? All them scriptures, man. Deuteronomy 28. Was that Joel 3? All them scriptures, man, will come into my mind. I'm going to read it again. Behold, the hire of thy laborers. Now, it says the word hire, all right? It says, because after slavery, what happened was you had what was called a sharecroppers, which is another form of slavery. You gathered whatever crop, and you got a percentage of it, but Esau was stiffing you on that. They'll make you a whole year, and you knew you already counted how much money you was going to get, and you might have got 20% of that. So Esau got you any damn way. So that's another form of slavery. It says, which of you kept back by fraud, crieth, because there's going to be a point where more of our people are going to start crying, pursuant to First Kings, the 8th chapter, right? What does it say? It said, what was the word? It wasn't cast out. No. The word, I can go back to it. Matter of fact, let me go back to it. Get the right wording. Okay, confess, right. It says, so it says, let me go back to James now. I'm jumping around here. It says, kept back by fraud, and the cries of the Israelites, not the other nations, which have reaped, are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth, right? It says, cries. Okay, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Going back to the first scripture I started with, when thy people Israel be smitten down before the enemy, which is Esau, Tells you that in Deuteronomy 28, because they have sinned against thee. And that's why we're in the condition that we're in today. And shall turn again, repent to thee, and confess thy name. What does it say in James? Instead of saying confess thy name and pray and make supplication unto thee in this house, it says what? It says crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. So once it's entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth, the Lord of the troops, he's going to act on it. And they're getting scared right now. That's why the Alpha and Omega, they did a thing going into all the Israelite groups. They didn't go into the black consciousness thing because they're not no spiritual threat.
Right.
This right here, what we're teaching, and we ain't going out there fighting nobody. We ain't doing nothing that's harmful to anybody. All we're doing is putting that word out, man. So it's becoming a spiritual threat to them, and they already know that they're going to be destroyed anyway. So why even put up any opposition? And then basically James White and Vocab Malone showed us that you guys don't know. You don't know nothing, man. All you do is quote the church fathers and what this author wrote a book about this, and which is the best translation of the scriptures. And I don't agree that the King James, but the Geneva Bible. And I we could have did this with the Geneva. One day we're gonna do a class, and we're gonna go into the Geneva Bible. We can do a lesson on that. The King James versus the Geneva Bible. I mean, you helped us. We're not even mad at you, man. A lot of guys are upset and mad at Dr. James White and Vocab Malone. We're not mad at you guys, man. Actually, we kind of like you guys. You know why we like you guys? Because you brought forth your reasoning, and it made us stronger. Because it made us know about them other translations and different authors and the way they teach, you know. And then we even understand a little bit more. We have a little bit more understanding of formal debating, which we'll never do because we're what's the term? What's the name of the movie that you gave me? We're Agora style debaters.
Market debaters.
Market debaters. Yep, that's right.
God. I got a precept because Elder Apostle Tara read have entered your cry, have entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Here's a precept that lines up with it. Luke 18:7. And shall not the Most High avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them? I tell you, now these are the words of Yahushua. The book of Luke 18:7. These are the words of Yahushua, which proves what James said is correct. You know, the cries of your workers have entered, because a lot of Esau's workers were of the elect, you know, and their cries have entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Just like when Cain killed Abel, the cry of Abel entered in the Lord of Sabaoth, and he wanted his blood avenged. Okay. Luke 18:7. And shall not the Most High avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them? I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. So that backs up what James said. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth? And I see why Yahushua said that, because you're supposed to keep crying. As it is written, men are...
Take no breaks, so you want to get out of here, man.
Yeah. That's why Yahushua said, shall I find faith? Because it takes faith for you to cry. I mean, if you don't believe... If
you don't cry, I just thought about that, Deuteronomy 22. If you find a woman in the field that is betrothed or engaged, and a man goes and take her, and she crieth.
Yeah.
And it says, and she ain't going to be put to death, but he going to be put to death. But if she don't cry, they both going to be, because she was with it. Yeah. So any of you fools out there that's not crying to the Most High in his name, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, not no damn sweet Jesus, you want to stay here. Hey, Nate of the IUIC, you want to stay here, man.
He likes it here.
You like it here. You doing damn good. You doing good. You doing damn good. Yeah. You with them T-shirts and them hip hop songs, and you can come any way you want, man.
Yeah.
He making money. He don't want to go nowhere. Like that movie, man, Heaven Can Wait. That's Nate, man. Heaven Can Wait, man.
Yeah, Heaven Can Wait.
You know?
Heaven
Which was
Can
an
Wait,
excellent movie, the first one. The one with Warren Beatty.
Warren Beatty.
That was an excellent movie, man. You know?
Yeah, but there it is, man. Luke 18:8. I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth?
And Nate doesn't have any faith.
He doesn't have no faith.
He doesn't have any faith.
He had scoffed.
Johanna doesn't have any faith.
Yeah,
they're doing it for filthy lucre's sake.
Yeah, he had scoffed at that idea. He used to call us, back in the day, he used to call us those faith-based Israelites. Well, this thing of ours is based upon faith. It says the just shall live by faith. It says here in the word being mixed with what? Being mixed with faith. And then what about the prophecy where it says to give the knowledge to the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations thereof? Them niggas ain't sighing and crying no more, because that money stifled them. Then them goodies stifled them up, man. Yeah, they received their consolation. Hey, if you receive your consolation, it says, "Woe unto you that are rich, you have received your consolation." If you receive your consolation, that's to stop you from crying. You ain't crying no more because you got a consolation. Right?
That's very good point. Very good. Hey, well, anyway, we're getting ready to close. If y'all got any closing scriptures, see, this thing moved fast, man. It says, Revelation 20, verse 1, it said, and I saw an angel. This is one of my favorite scriptures, you know. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit. Bottomless pit, you're going to find out, is Europe, and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, and the dragon is referring to this so-called white man in the form of the Roman Empire, as the Roman Empire was going down. That old serpent, which is the devil and Satan. So this is talking about the physical demon Satan, which is the offspring of Esau, the Edomites, which are alive and well and in the power seat as of this very day, and bound him 1,000 years. And that's referring to from the time of Constantine the Great, approximately 300 years AD. It was, to be exact, the scholars say 325 when he sat up on the throne and cast him into, and by the way, Constantine was a so-called black man. He was an Israelite, just like King James was a black man, an Israelite. Like James White said, no, I typed in King James and I see white people. Well, guess what? Type in Jesus Christ. You're going to see white people too. But what does the scripture say? It said he had woolly hair. So who are you kidding? Who you fooling? It says, and cast, I'm sorry, third verse, and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more. So when he came out to deceive the nations, what was the first thing that they did? When they took down the Moors, when the Turks sacked Byzantium, which is now known as Istanbul, Turkey, all right? They set up, through the years, they set up a thing called the Renaissance period, which basically has to do with art. And they took down all the images of Israelites, black people, and they put up white people in their stead, but kept the names. Oh, this is James right here. This is the Apostle James. This is Peter. This is Jesus Christ. You know, this is John. This is Paul. And they're all Edomites. That's your Renaissance. It says, I'm gonna read the third verse again, and cast him into a bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more. And during that time period, Esau wasn't deceiving the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loose a little season. That little season is a little bit more than 500 years from really starting from was it 1345? If I'm not mistaken, 1355? I got it. Right. That's when it started. But really, when they set sail during the time of Columbus, the mid to late 1400s, that's when the doors really opened, and they called it the New World. So that term that terminology, the New World, goes back to during the time of Christopher Columbus. We're talking 500 years ago. New World Order is not a new term. It says that he should deceive the nations no more till 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed as little season. And I saw thrones and they that sat upon them in judgment, the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai. And we are Shai in this time period. And for the word, which is the scriptures, not that did decay, all right, and which had not worshipped the beast. The beast is the system. Like Jake that's in the military, they're worshiping the beast. And what they're doing now, but they tell those soldiers not to say nothing about it. And some of them say something about it and some of them don't. They that chip. We have two examples. When you go out to LA, the GMS camps out there, and a week and a half between those two situations where the Jake came up and he said he got 4 or 5 chips in him. Then the Issacharite came up, and then they said they knew the moment, but they said, well, look, we signed a contract. Well, guess what? That's your ass, man. You know? And so they're going to regret what they did. Because they both said that they know that the microchip that they got in them is the mark of the beast. Because they stopped because they saw the sign. It says, let me try to get the middle of it again. Okay, it says, and I saw the souls of them which were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai. And that's why we tell you some of y'all are going to be beheaded. All right, if you be beheaded, you be beheaded. For the word of the scripture says, striving to the truth until death. It says, and which had not worshipped the beast, which is the system, NATO, the EU, neither his image is a system, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And now this guy, one of the guys, the zombies of the IUIC said, what about if they put it in your left butt cheek? Well, you know what killed that bullshit? That dude, that Jake that came up, said he had the chip in 4 or 5 different places. He had the chip. Oh, by the way, hold up, man. I almost forgot.
Since we're speaking on the chip.
That's a chip right there. That's an actual chip. That's an actual chip. And it ain't a potato chip, my man. That's a chip. RFID chip. Yeah. Hey, the chip, brother. See, it doesn't become a sin until they put it up in you. Yeah.
That's right. That's when it's a sin.
Who you fooling?
Yeah, we're going to bring that downtown, brother. Okay, where am I at? Did I read the whole 4th verse? Okay. Worship the beast, neither his image, neither have received his mark upon their foreheads or in their right hands, or in their hands, because it could be either left or right. It could be your butt cheek, your ankle, your Achilles heel, your earlobe, all right? Now you go ahead and do it. Now you go ahead and take that chip. Go ahead and take that chip in your earlobe, right? And then when the missiles come, say, I'm all right. It ain't in my right hand or my forehead. It's in my earlobe. Them missiles going to eat your ass up, man. All right? It says, or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Yahweh Shai 1,000 years. That's that cuts your view on the millennium, Mr. James White. The article says that you're a millennialist. You don't believe in the 1,000-year reign. Well, that means you don't believe in the scriptures. 5th verse. But the rest of the dead lived not until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. The first resurrection is all of Israel. Romans 11, 25 and 26. 6th verse. Blessed and holy is he that have part in the first resurrection. The first resurrection is the children of Israel. On such the second death hath no power, but they shall be priests Give me the scripture on that, the fulfillment of it, the prophecy during the time of Moses. But they shall be priests and of God, priests of God and of the Christ, of the Messiah, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. Come on now.